When we talk about preparing food in the backcountry, it's really important that we have really good food safety while camping. It can definitely make or break your trip, because if you don't take care of hygiene and food preparation on the trail, you can get these foodborne illnesses that are going to make you sick, give you vomiting and diarrhea and dehydration, and it can lead to a lot of other problems. So a few things to think about with food safety is that you want to always make sure that you wash your hands in some way before you prepare food or eat food. Obviously, we don't have sinks and soap out in the backcountry, so we need to think about other options. Purell, the antibacterial gels are really good to use. Rub them all over your hands. Also, the antibacterial wipes. Make sure you have one or the other of those to pass around to everyone that's eating and especially cooking. Another thing is you need to keep your food hot or cold. So between 40 and 140 degrees is where bacteria can just really grow, and it can proliferate up to after 2 hours. Lots of bacteria can grow on your food. So make sure that you're taking foods and choosing your foods to take out in the backcountry wisely, because you don't want to take out foods that should be refrigerated and leave them in that danger zone for too long. We also want to think about water purification. The days are gone that we can just dip our water bottles into the streams. Unfortunately, there's bacteria and viruses and parasites in the water. So you need to either boil your water, so fill up your pot, bring your water to a rolling boil for about a minute, and that can clear out all those viruses and bacteria and parasites. That's the best way to purify water. You can also use a filter, and if you have a filter of some sort, you want to make sure that it's the 1 micron or smaller, just to make sure it's getting rid of the bacteria. Also, if it has a virus component to kill viruses, that's going to be your best bet with the filter. And then you can also use some sort of iodine or chlorine tablets that you drop in your water bottle and wait a few minutes depending on what you're using, and that'll purify your water. So it's a really important thing to make sure you're keeping good sanitation and hygiene out there on the trail. The other thing you want to think about is if you're backpacking in bear country, you have a whole nother aspect to think about, but very, very important to be careful as you're eating. You'd never want to eat with your fingers and then wipe your fingers on your clothing and then hop into your tent in that same clothing, because the bears have really, really good sense of smell. So you always want to make sure that you're being very careful with anything you're wiping your hands on as you're cooking or eating, and make sure that you take that, if it's a handkerchief that you're using as a napkin, put that in your bear bag, and you actually hang your food and your kind of contaminated items up in the tree while you're camping, because you don't want any of that stuff in your tent or around your tent. So you want to put all your food, if you're in bear country, in a bag of some sort, like a stuff sack. Tie a rope onto that and tie the end of that P-cord or rope to a rock. And you're going to want to throw the rock up over a tree branch that's sticking out from the trunk quite a ways, so if the bears climb up the trunk, they can't get to that food. You're going to throw that rock over, and then you're going to actually just shimmy your food bag up high into the air, at least 15 feet up into the air, so that it's hanging there safe, so that no animals can get into that at night.